What's up, guys? It's Mio, and I am back with another video, and it's time for my 2023 Money in the Bank predictions. With that being said, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future videos and streams, and let me know down in the comments below who you think is winning tomorrow at Money in the Bank in London. Now, because of time zones, the show actually starts at 3 o'clock Eastern time here, so I could stream. Except, one, if I was working tomorrow, I'd have to get out at the earliest possible convenience and hightail my ass home and get everything set up real quick. And I don't want to rush it because of the fact of that with WWE streams, I try to give myself a little bit of time ahead of time for them. But also, keyword if, because I'm not working tomorrow. I have tomorrow off, but that's because I'm going somewhere else. I'm going to be at Australia's No Prep Kings at New England Dragway in Epping, New Hampshire, which I'm excited for because it's the third time I've been. And the four times they've been up here. I didn't go in 2021 because that was the year that I was at or the same weekend as Loudon. So anyway, um, let's just go ahead and let's just get into the predictions. But yeah, there's actually a chance of rain that would push the event back at Epping. So had that happened, I would have stayed home and then streamed. But the weather's cleared up for tomorrow, which I'm excited for. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into this. So I think I'm gonna start off with Gunther versus Riddle for the Intercontinental title. Yeah, Riddle, pack it up, bud. This is the easiest one to predict. Now, allegedly, there may be a massive upset on this show. I don't think it's happening here. I would be shocked if Riddle beats Gunther, especially because WWE's been on this road of modernizing some of these records, and Gunther will surpass the Honky Tonks record for the longest overall intercontinental title reign later this year. So I just don't see Riddle winning here. Um, then we have uh Ronda and Shayna against Raquel and the returning Liv Morgan for the undisputed women's tag team titles. Of course, Ronda and Shayna last week beat Alba and Isla to unify the WWE and NXT women's tag titles. And then Raquel came out, and then Liv came back, which was awesome. Um, of course, they never lost these titles, but unfortunately, I think Ronda and Shayna are gonna retain. And that's really just because I think that they might get a long run with these belts. I don't know. That's just what it feels like to me. So yeah, unfortunately, I have Ronda and Shayna retaining. I'd love to see Liv and Raquel get the belts back. Don't get me wrong, I would. Uh, but yeah. So, then we have Cody Rhodes against Dominic Mysterio. Now, if the rumor is true that there's supposed to be an upset, do we want to call this an upset? I think, I think in a way it is kind of. I think Dominic wins. Why? One man, two words. Brock Lesnar. Lesnar's going to attack Cody during this match, and that will set up Brock versus Cody 3 at SummerSlam, and Dominic gets out with the win. Um, it's weird to not have, um, in reality, it's weird to not have both women's titles being defended. Asuka is defending her women's title against Charlotte on SmackDown tonight, although it already happened in the UK, again, time zones. Um, so there's that. It's weird, but in a way, I'm actually glad that neither women's title is being defended on Money in the Bank, because then that way we don't have to worry about the whoever wins the women's Money in the Bank match cashing in the same night. Now, obviously, they could cash in on Raw, but can whoever wins please hold on to the belt or onto the briefcase for a while, please? That's all we ask. And you know what? Speaking of that, why don't we take a look at that? So, your combatants, there's six of them in total. Io Sky, Trish Stratus, Zoe Stark, Bayley, Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch. So I think honestly, you take Trish, Zoe, and Becky out in terms of winning because they're going to be so focused on each other and preventing each other from winning. Well, more so Trish and Zoe trying to prevent Becky from winning. Where I think Zoe might make a mistake because of Becky that takes Trish out, and then Becky takes Zoe out, but then Becky herself gets taken out. No disrespect to Zelina Vega. I would love to see her win. I'm not sure it's going to happen. I think what this is going to boil down to is Bayley. Bayley will take out Zelina, sacrificing herself so that Io could win the briefcase. I know that sounds weird considering that there's if you pay attention, it kind of looks like Bayley's not all that fond of Io right now because Io wants to step out on her own. We've been seeing that for a while. Um, but I think this is where Bayley kind of gets back on Io's good side for the time being. Especially because Dakota Kai's out. Um, and then we just go from there. It could be Bayley sort of playing mind games with Io, and then maybe later down the line, Bayley tries to challenge Io for the briefcase, and that's when Io finally turns on Bayley, and whatnot. So let's of course now segue to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ricochet, LA Knight, Santos Escobar. I almost said Santino. Logan Paul, Damian Priest, Butch, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, rumor has it, or reports have it, that Triple H does not want Logan Paul winning this match. And I don't blame him. I think Logan Paul being added to the match is just to add some star power and some name value. And that's no disrespect to the other combatants, but people, you take one look at the internet wrestling community and people are saying, oh, this is the weakest, men's Money in the Bank ladder match, of all time. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. I mean, we've long wanted newer talent to get a shot like this. And, LA Knight, Priest hasn't been in one of these matches, I don't think. Butch, um, Shinsuke's been a couple of these. Ricochet is usually a staple of these because to do his flippy shit. And then again, I think Logan Paul just brings some name brand star power in a way. But if he's not winning, and he better not, there's only one person that should be winning this match. L.A. Knight. Yeah! I mean, come on. It's him. He's him. He has to win. He fucking has to. Um, yeah. I think he's winning. And I hope he wins. Because he deserves it. It's crazy. And, it's crazy because a lot of people, okay, real quick. It's crazy to think with LA Knight how, people, again, and this is, I think, more so because people in the IWC love to bash on Bray Wyatt, but people talk about how anybody Bray works with never comes out of the feud good. And LA Knight's a guy who has come out of that feud and he just keeps getting more and more over, which is crazy. But the dude's that good. So, and he's got a catchphrase that everybody loves. Could it become the next Steve Austin? What? Chant? Maybe. But it probably, hopefully, won't be as annoying. That being said, we now take a look at the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. And I think this match goes either way. Finn has been attacking Seth a lot lately. He wants vengeance. Because remember, when the Universal title was created, who was in the match for it at SummerSlam? Seth and Finn. Finn won, but he got hurt during the match, had to vacate the title, and as Finn pointed out, Seth laughed at him on his way out when he got put on the shelf. This is a long time coming. And I think in a way, Finn, he wants to win this not just because he wants to embarrass Seth, but when you look at Judgment Day's interactions with a certain JD McDonough, who's kind of been watching from the shadows. I think Finn knows if he does not win this match, if he does not bring this title back to the Judgment Day, he gone. And JD takes over. Just an opinion. And I think that with Damian being in the ladder match, Mysterio, his match against Cody will probably be earlier on in the show, unless they decide to put the World Heavyweight title match first. Um, so he's gonna be fucking spent. Rhea, it depends on how involved she is in Dominic's match. But she might be the only feasible member to attack on Finn's behalf. I think Seth wins though. I think Seth will retain. He will put Finn in his place, and the way things will go moving forward is going to be interesting. And finally, that brings us to Bloodline Civil War. Roman and Solo against Jimmy and Jay. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. Of course, the Bloodline has finally dissolved. Jimmy and Jay are out. They've turned on Roman. They've turned on Solo. And now it's a question of getting Solo to join them as well. I have said for a while now, I think that when Solo leaves Roman, and I've seen something about that's going to happen eventually. When Solo leaves Roman, Heyman's going with him. Because I think Heyman will take Solo and make Solo his last big project in WWE as a manager before WrestleMania 40 next year. Because remember, WrestleMania 40 is in Philly. Heyman, ECW, and all that. I think Heyman, I don't know if Heyman's going to retire by next year. I definitely think he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame next year. But I think Solo will be his last big project before he retires. And it's kind of a thing where Heyman leaves when his client is losing their grip at the top, right? Well, Roman's losing his grip at the top because he's lost control of the Usos. And Solo and him have had moments occasionally. So I know it's easy to say Roman and Solo win because Roman, but I think Jimmy and Jay pull it off. I think they win. Maybe, I think if they neutralize Solo and neutralize Heyman, I think they have a chance. But if they can get Solo to turn on Roman, even greater of a chance. Do I think that happens here? I'm not sure. But I would expect something massive to happen during this match. So I'm gonna take the Usos to win, and I hope they win. Um, and then it will just continue Roman's downfall. Mm. But with that being said, again, Gunther retains. Shayna and Ronda retain, unfortunately. Dominic wins because of Brock interference. Io wins the women's Money in the Bank match. LA Knight wins the men's ladder match. Seth retains. Usos win. With all that being said, thank you all for watching. I will catch you all next time. Peace.